Hello, I'm Corporal Sean Vinson, and welcome to Police Report, brought to you by the men and women of the Baltimore County Police Department. This program brings you information on crime trends, crime prevention techniques, and information on police department activities and operations. In today's program, we will be speaking with Officers Shelley Knox and John Mitchell from the Police Department's Recruitment Unit. We will be discussing what it's like to work for the Baltimore County Police Department and how you can join one of the largest police departments in the state. We will also be speaking with Officer Carrie Coos from the Police Department's Youth and Community Services section. Officer Coos will give us information on burglary tips for the spring months. We will end our show this month with details of a man wanted for attempted murder. We need your help in taking this felon off the street. The Baltimore County Police Department is now hiring for cadet and police officer positions. With more than 1,800 officers, the police department provides around-the-clock service to the citizens of Baltimore County, covering an area of 612 square miles and a population well over 800,000 citizens. Our patrol officers respond to over 350,000 calls of service each year, working from 10 precincts around the county. These officers are supported by a variety of specialized and investigative units. Whatever your interest may be in the Baltimore County Police Department, we probably have an assignment that fits your interests. Here to discuss the career opportunities and how to get hired by the police department are Officers Shelley Knox and John Mitchell. Thank you to both of you for joining Police Report today.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
So you've told me a common misconception around the state and when you're traveling is that Baltimore City and Baltimore County are the same jurisdictions, but we are two separate police departments, correct?
Absolutely.
Yes, and Officer Knox, can you tell me, when you're looking at all the police departments that you could apply to, why should I join the Baltimore County Police Department?
Well, we are top ranked as one of the finest institutions in law enforcement on a national level. We are nationally accredited. We are a full-service agency, like you mentioned in the intro, offering a wide range of positions in your career interests.
Okay, and we are currently hiring for police officer and police cadet positions. What's the age requirement for a police cadet?
For police cadet, that's for ages 18 to 20. They can apply as early as 17 and a half. And for our officer applicants, that's 21 and older, and they can start their application process as early as 20 and a half.
Okay, and do we have certain education requirements that need to be, your education that needs to be completed before you apply to the police department?
Well, the Baltimore County Police Department only requires a high school diploma or a GED to be considered as a minimum requirement.
Okay, and what are some of the, what can you describe what our salary is like?
For our police cadets, they earn a salary of $26,034, and our officers start at $50,043.
Okay, and I'm sorry, you had mentioned that it was a high school diploma was the requirement, but we have many officers that have college degrees and beyond. Is there a benefit that you have coming to the police department with a college degree or some college credits?
Absolutely. When you're looking at hundreds thousands of applicants, those that have a college degree, it can help them further in the process, and it does help in our selection for supervision. If you are interested in following that as a career track, it does take off time. We will take a bachelor's degree and it will subtract a year worth of experience.
Okay, interesting. And you had mentioned what the salary requirement was. If you're going through the training and through the police academy, are you getting paid while you're in that through our training?
Absolutely, Sean. That is a starting salary at $50,000. You are paid that during the training academy, and once you graduate on your year anniversary date, that's when you will begin to get your raises.
Okay, and as we get older, and me, start to realize what the benefits are and how they're going to help us out in the long run. So what are some of the benefits with the police department?
Well, we have several choices in our medical, dental, have life insurance benefits, as well as vacation, sick leave, and the opportunities for overtime and compensatory leave.
Okay. And then as our police officers, well, some of the cadets, what are their work schedules like, a weekly work schedule, and what are some of the assignments that they may be in?
Yes, for our cadet, it is a full-time position. They work a 40-hour work week. We do work 8-hour days. Their days off will depend on their assignment. Some are Monday through Fridays, other work weekends depending on, like I said, that assignment. They do work rotating shifts, day work 3 to 11 and permanent midnight.
And how about our police officers? What are their typical work week schedule like?
Same thing. Their days will rotate off based on their leave group in their precinct where they start. So they are still working 8-hour shift as well as permanent day work 3 to 11 and midnight.
So yeah, sometimes they are working a midnight shift throughout the night.
Yes.
Yes, because we provide that around-the-clock coverage. And then what's our retirement benefits like in the department?
Currently, we have a 25-year retirement at 60%, and if you choose to stay past that 25 years, you get an additional 3% per year you stay.
Okay, that's great. And that's something that's unusual in today's world, stable pension benefits, a stable retirement to work towards.
Absolutely.
Okay. And for our viewers to start to talk about what we're looking for, what qualities are we looking for in an applicant with the police department?
Okay, we're looking for individuals with good moral character, those that can make quick decisions, and we're looking for individuals who have limited driving problems, criminal history, as well as a good employment record.
Okay. And in terms of background, you started to talk about, but in terms of what else in the background were we looking to see in an applicant?
Okay, so our background investigators are going to be checking with previous employers, neighbors, references, schools, and things like that to determine the individual. We're going to be looking for patterns of behavior that may limit them in their career path, that may put them on a track of not being able to follow through with assignments, etc.
Okay, so if I'm interested in being a cadet or an officer, what's my first step in that process?
The first step is to go to our website of joinbaltimorecountypd.com and submit your application.
Okay.
The Baltimore County Office of Human Resources will then notify those applicants of when and where to come take a written test.
Okay, and then how should I prepare for that written test?
Well, they'll provide a study guide through Human Resources. It's a 100 multiple choice test, and mainly it's reading based. There's no math or anything involved in that, so there's no need to get excited about that.
Okay. Is there any advice you can give to us to how to prepare for this test? Anything we can do ahead of time?
Mainly just brush up on your English. There is a grammar portion. A lot of us tend to forget those rules of grammar, and when you start to talk, it's not exactly how you would write. So you might want to start looking into that if it's been a while since you've been in school.
Is an important factor in being a police officer is in being able to communicate, writing police reports, testifying in court. So
yes.
People might not think about it, but English is an important component of our job to be able to communicate and write properly.
It is.
Okay. All right. Thank you. And Officer Mitchell, thank you again for joining us today. And also, so once I've passed the written exam, what's the next step in the hiring process?
You'll get an email notification from the employment team, employment unit actually. You'll get an email notification in reference to the physical agility test. So at this point, you're getting yourself prepared for that actual test.
Okay. And then once you've gone through that physical agility test, can you describe what the physical agility test would involve?
Yes, you'll have four components of our physical agility test. We'll have a sit-ups, push-ups, a 1.5-mile run, and what we call a trigger slide pull. Okay. So those are the 4 components that you would complete during that day when you come for the physical agility test.
Is there anything that I should prepare for getting ready for that physical agility test?
The first step is to look at our video. We have a physical agility video on our website. If you view that video, it gives you the actual depict of what the actual depict of the physical agility test.
Okay, and be ready to run a little bit.
Absolutely, preparing yourself, getting in shape. As far as sit-ups and push-ups, I always recommend for the individual to practice an incline so you can build that muscular endurance. Okay. For the run, I also recommend you to get out, practice on a standard oval track, normally a high school, maybe a college, practice on an oval track. And to also, if you're a treadmill type runner,
yes.
A lot of for beginners, I wouldn't recommend that. For the beginner runners, I would definitely want to do outdoors because of the breathing, the oxygen to prepare yourself.
Okay. And do we notice a lot of people are struggling during this physical agility test?
It varies. Recently, we do see a lot of struggles in the 1.5-mile run. That's why it's important to practice.
Okay. And once I've passed that physical agility test, what's the next step?
After you pass the physical agility test, the next step is doing the background investigation. Okay. That's pretty much the longest portion of the process where you're going to be kind of on that waiting period.
Okay. And can you give us some details about what's involved in this background investigation?
They're going to do a lot of, so you'll initially get a call from a background investigator just introducing themselves, letting them know that you're going to be conducting the extensive background investigation on you. They're going to have part of that process prior to them calling you. You fill out a personal history statement booklet, and that booklet contains all your residents, all your employer checks, reference checks. And what they're going to do is they're going to do a follow-up in there. They're going to pretty much take that as a template and going to go out and complete an investigation. Okay. And if anything changes with the applicant during that time, it's your responsibility as an applicant to contact them, letting them know if an address change or email change or phone number change.
And the most interesting thing is we're talking to prior employers, we're talking to prior girlfriends, boyfriends, neighbors. We do a complete investigation and try to get a total picture of this person.
Yes, they're going to dig deep.
Okay. And then, so I've successfully passed this background investigation. What's the next step?
The end of our process is going to be a medical examination, a polygraph examination, and a psychological examination. So those are the last 3 steps prior to going to our police academy.
Okay, so going to be hooked up to a lie detector test.
Absolutely.
Okay, and
yes.
then going through our background and what type of questions are asked in this polygraph examination?
The polygraph is pretty much reflected on our values as an agency, so our integrity, fairness, service. So exactly, those are the exact values that's going to be used in the polygraph examination.
Okay, all right. So if for some reason there's a hiccup in the process and I'm not hired or there's a problem in the process, am I done being considered for the county police department, or can I reapply in the future?
Yes, you can reapply as long as you didn't get any written notification of any COMAR infractions. Other than that, you can apply again. We tell the individual to wait at least a year to apply again.
Okay. And you said COMAR infractions. What exactly is that?
That's set by the state of Maryland, just saying that the individual is no longer to apply for any law enforcement agencies within the state of Maryland.
Okay. So I've made it through the process. I get hired. What's the next step with the police department, becoming a police officer?
Once you get hired, the next step will be you'll be a recruit, and will be considered our 27-week police academy. Okay. And you're going to prepare yourself to be challenged mentally, physically, and academically in our academy.
Okay. And is this a live-in academy, or do you go home every day?
You go home every day. It's non-residential.
Okay. All right. And after the 27-week academy, if I graduate and finished everything, what happens next?
You'll be assigned to one of our 10 precincts with a experienced field training officer for 8 weeks. You'll complete that process. It's on the job training for that individual.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Officer Knox and Officer Mitchell, for joining us today. And as you can see, the Baltimore County Police Department can provide you with an opportunity to have a stable career and a first-hand chance to make our community safe. I can tell you personally, this has been a rewarding career for me, and I cherish my experience that I've had with numerous units throughout the police department. To join us online, you can go online and go to our website at joinbaltimorecountypd.com or call 410-887-5542. Thank you again, Officer Knox.
Thank you.
And thank you again, Officer Mitchell, for joining us today on Police Report. Coming up next on our program, we will speak with Officer Carrie Coos from the Police Department's Youth and Community Services section. Officer Coos will provide us with some valuable tips about how protecting our home and our belongings. But first, this message.